Sit down. Take a seat. Because we need to talk about the future of the Diamonds Fantasy All-Stars. Now, how the hell do I start this video off? Screw it. I'ma just talk about DFSAS stuff. So, I know I haven't been making any fancy episodes in the past few years, and that is actually because I couldn't really be bothered. And I don't really mean this as I don't really want anyone to be offended by this. It's because I myself could not be bothered. Thing is, back when I started making Thomas and Friends, when I got in my Thomas and Friends fantasy era, that I started to have a bit of a change in standard for the DFSAS and what I wanted. For those few years up until now, I wanted the DFSAS to be really big and good with lots of complex stories, complex animations, etc. But I haven't actually thought about all of it. As I said, I couldn't really be bothered to do it. And now, more recently, I've been wanting to make fancy episodes, but with this standard that's still on my mind, I can never want to do it. So I've decided to make a pretty big change to the DFSAS, and that is going to be, I'm going to be keeping most, if not all, of the fan series, but I'm going to make the episodes and the stories a lot more cartoonish and simple, so that I have an easy to follow formula to make the episodes, and also they can also be fun for me to make. Because if I, as a creator, am not having fun making the episodes, then what's the point of me making the episodes? I also think that I have a few options to change the voice cast as well. Because with all the voice actors we have, we've still got a reasonable amount of characters cast, but there's loads of others that still no one's auditioned for, basically. So I was thinking that I might either voice most of the characters myself, and then for some of the older boys we'll get Turgo to voice him, or I can split the voice acting 5 ways between myself, Pinky, Ellie, Leaf, and Turgo. By the way, I am still planning to have singers in the DFSAS, but the auditions for the big singer group that I planned, called Diamonds Fantasy All-Stars, that's going to be cancelled because only one person got in. There was going to be 12 people in Diamonds Fantasy All-Stars, including myself, Pinky, Ellie, Leaf, etc. But Pinky and Zergo turned it down. I've not heard from Ellie, and Leaf doesn't have Discord, so I don't know. And the only person that got in was Rosalina. We'll still keep her as a singer in the DFSAS, but we're not going to have the big group of singers for now. Now this is going on to a completely different train of thought. But Chuggington's Magical Chuggers, no one really, I think people forgot about it. I've got to be honest, I myself have forgotten about Chuggington's Magical Chuggers. And plus, I'm not really interested in Chuggington anymore. But I still want to keep the fan theory. So I've came up with a bit of a solution to that. Which is basically where I'm gonna cancel a series. So I'm gonna do this to Chuggington's Magical Chuggers. So what it means is that it's not gonna get any fan series episodes, but the team is still gonna exist. So CHMGC won't get its own series because it's one of those series where you just forget about it. And then they're gonna appear in the All-Stars movies and On Parade and whatnot. And if I'm being honest, I was gonna do a movie about like this certain fan series coming back, but it's way past the source materials like special event that it was gonna be for, and I've kind of lost motivation on it. But I'm thinking of doing the same thing with Thomas and Friends fan series. So I'm gonna bring it back, but not give it its own series, if that makes sense. So you guys know how I was saying about how I want to make the DFSAS a lot more simple and stuff? Alongside that, I'm also planning on slightly changing the genre of the DFSAS. So I'm planning to have a lot more slice of life elements in the DFSAS, and maybe tone down like the magical girl boy side of it and have a bit more Aikatsu style thing going on. I mean, the magical girl thing is what makes the DFSAS famous. I know that. And it's still going to exist to a certain extent. But recently, I have lost a bit of interest in magical girls, and I'm kind of leaning more towards idol animes like Aikatsu and whatnot. So I kind of want to take the DFSAS in a new direction in terms of genre. In terms of the slice of life and magical girl thing going on, I'm going to take inspiration from MLP Equestria Girls, because I know they do it a bit. Slice of life, magical girl. And then the idol part of the DFSAS genre is going to come from Aikatsu.